Hi everyone, it's Michelle from Country Morning Creations, and I'm back with another From the Vault book in this series I'm doing. What they are, these are journals that I either created a one-off or created at some point for myself. I thought, okay, I love this journal, I'm going to keep it, and I've come to the place where I've decided that I probably won't ever actually use these journals. They're really pretty to look at. They're taking up a lot of space on my shelf. So I thought I would love to share these with other people. So the way this works is I will release a From the Vault video on a Wednesday. So next Wednesday I'll release another one. I have 5 books in the total series. This is the second book I'm featuring. And this one is called Rhapsody and Rose. But what I will also do is when I've uploaded the video, the actual journal will go on sale on Saturday at noon Mountain Time. That's Colorado. So you can look up Mountain Time to see what time that would be your time, that you can go ahead and purchase these journals. This was one that I made using a class from Nick the Booksmith. Love her classes. A lot of people feel like classes are really expensive. What I feel like, I think classes are great because I don't have to do all that research. I saw someone make a comment about classes are a waste of money because there's thousands of hours of videos, free videos on YouTube. However, I don't have thousands of hours to go through all those videos. I don't have hours to spend trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work. So that's why I love taking classes. For me, I'd rather pay that money up front so that I'm not wasting all my time. I'm not having to throw things away because it didn't work the way I thought it was going to work, whatever. Someone else has already tried it. They have a tried and true method, and I can simply take that method then and make my journals. This was one of those ones whereby she used a napkin and wrinkled it up to get this very wrinkled effect. What I did was, this is a printable, so this is all printables from Dot's Inspiration Studio. It's from her Navy and Roses. I printed it on tracing paper that was very, very thin tracing paper, and attach that to this. This has been sealed with Mod Podge. I've aged it. It's the same on the back. So it's the same here and here. Then I put a cloth binding. This cloth is actually upholstery fabric, so it's very durable. And I also coffee dyed both the cloth and this lace so that it's got more of a grungy aged look, and that was really what I was going for. I have a little Tim Holtz bulb pin, and this is also Tim Holtz, and it says, I don't know if you can read that, it says breathe, there we go, with 4462 on it. This is a Tim Holtz die cut that I've attached with brads that has some really old, this is I want to say 1800 French music. Also down here, I've done, it's a double layer butterfly, so it's very fragile. If you choose to, you can glue this down, but it has, this is also a Tim Holtz butterfly die cut, so it has the paper behind it, and then this has been glued on top. This is loose, so what I have found is that if you want to slide this into a bookcase, I would definitely recommend gluing that down. It's also closed with seam binding, coffee dyed seam binding. Seam binding to me is very thin, so I always double up my closures when I make closures with seam binding. It's just tied like this. This has, I want to say over 120 pages. It is a hollow back binding, so the book will lay flat no matter what page you are on. You can open it to anywhere in the book and it will lie flat. And I love, love, love that. It is also made with hardboard. It's actually called Masonite. I love using it because there's less risk of it warping. It is a wood product, not a paper product. However, if you were to actually get this book wet, it would warp. But for what I'm doing, it is not warped. Then on the inside, there are actually 9 signatures. I've used all of my coffee dyed paper is acid neutralized, so I use baking soda to neutralize the acid in it. I will, of course, post that link below also as to how to find that video that I did on acid neutral tea and coffee dyeing your paper. So this is just a little bit of a flip that I've added in here. This is some of that tissue paper. This, I don't know if you can see, but it's very thin. And what I did was I actually printed on that tissue paper to make the cover. I have some different lace tags. They're rather long, but I have a variety of them in here. Lots of blank pages for writing. I'm one of those people who wants to have a ton of space for writing, so this one has a lot of it. This is just a little Tim Holtz paper clip, if I can get that off, that I've added a few different things. This is a journal card. This is just some paper, also from that same kit. So all of the ephemera in here is actually from this same kit from Dot Studio. I will link their Etsy shop below. Again, lots of lovely, lovely coffee dyed paper. I use 128 pounds, so this is what I would call fountain pen ink friendly. It will bleed through if you write really, really heavily, but it shouldn't bleed through, or you may only get occasional dots that bleed through. So it's not going to completely bleed through like a lot of lighter papers. I, of course, have a beautiful, beautiful piece of Edith Holden page in here. More pieces from, there are 9 of these printed pages in here, and this is just a little banner tuck spot. I love that. That is just a journal card, and this was a piece for also from this same kit. I think I'm going to turn it this way to put it back in. I also have tabs on the top. So I have some lace tabs on the top. I have lace on the side. I really wanted to make this really lacy and feminine, so there's lots and lots of lace in here. This is a dictionary page from a 1930s secretary book. This is a ruffle made from some of my coffee dyed seam binding. I've sewn with a decorative stitch. My sewing machine does some really pretty decorative stitches. This is mulberry paper. I get that from Amazon. Oh, and this is all music. So this was the dictionary page that has all the musical instruments on it. Again, tying back in with the music on the front. So this would be perfect for someone who does love to do, who's musical. Some typing page from an old typing book. This is a Tim Holtz die cut, and it has a couple of things in it, but what I wanted to show you, this is actually a genuine vintage calling card that I have in here. Everything else is all printables from this kit, so there's a tag and another long card, but that one is actually a genuine piece of French ephemera. More blank coffee dyed pages. I love this. You actually could go ahead and journal on even these pages, maybe if you covered them with a little bit of gesso. Again, that piece. Now, this is the cool thing that I did in this book, and I have not done this in any more of them. One of the things that this kit came with were these file folders. So the very center actually is a file folder. I have thrown a few things in it. This actually has a postcard that has more papers in it. So this is just offcuts that I have. That tucks in on this side, and then on this side I've done another Tim Holtz piece that has more just pieces of ephemera in it as well. So this one actually has this file folder in the middle. Another one of those banner tuck spots. This is just a piece of paper that I've cut out, and then this is a custom, one-of-a-kind, basically a journaling card, which I'd done on an index card And it has the decorative stitching around it, and I've layered pieces up. There's some book page, there's some stenciling behind this. That's one of my favorite things I think I've ever made, but I have included that in this, and I can always make another one if I wanted to. All right, let me double check. There we go. This is a genuine piece of vintage Pepsi-Cola bottling company out of Albany, New York. More lace tags, some more sewing. Again, this is just that coffee dyed seam binding. More of these beautiful pages from this kit. This is, again, a genuine piece of French ephemera. This is not a printable. This is actually a piece that I get, and I get my French ephemera from Monahan's Papers. I'll include her link also below. This is a tuck spot. Again, one of these, this is a tag that I was inspired by Yvonne Preston. Love her stuff. This one says, live every day with intention. And it's just layered up with a piece of paper that has stenciling on it, some more book pages. I did not sew around this, but it does have a stapled lace tag to it. Again, another piece you could write in here. You can write on the back of that as well. That simply tucks right back in there. I did do some stenciling there. And this is just some of that paper that I sewed onto that part of the, that's that French receipt. I have some graph paper in here. Again, this is a different tag that I made, and it's blank on the back, and it's just again layered with some stenciled paper and some book paper. This is a journaling card that I made. Again, it's on, if you like lined paper, this is great because this is on another index card as well. Those tuck right up into there. Here's some of that old music paper. This is, again, vintage French music paper. More lace. I just sewed bits and bits of lace kind of all over the place in here. This is a big piece of mulberry paper. I have a small pocket here that holds a card and more of that paper. I love, love, love this kit. Navy blue and roses. Navy blue is one of my favorite colors, so this is definitely one of my favorite kits. Some more sewing here. Lots of sewing throughout this whole journal. And that is the end. And there is my little Country Morning Creations logo in the back. And then it all is held together. So there's plenty of room to add more of your stuff in here as well. This will be up, just to remind you, this will be up for sale this Saturday. I'm not sure, I want to say that's July 19th of 2020. And it will go up for sale on my Etsy at noon Mountain Time. So you can look for it there. I hope you've enjoyed this flip through, and I hope I've inspired you to be creative today.